Welcome to the City Vs channel. We're going to do our little match report on Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2. Yes, New Year's Day 2022. I was down there for this game, guys. I had a quick trip round to Highbury as well. I was there to take some images and a little video, a little bit. Please look out for a little bit of special I've done on that as well. Just a couple of things I wanted to chat about. I was going to do it on here, but obviously just a little 10-minute thing. So please keep your eyes out for that Highbury 45-year special or around about that time. I've not even checked the dates yet, but have a look out for that for the next 2 or 3 days. Anyway, guys, I'll be putting that together. Right, match report of Arsenal 1, City 2 at the Emirates. City lineups, yeah, I got 11. I got 11. I wish I did. I got 9. I'm quite happy with that. 9 out of 11, considering the circumstances. I'll take that every day of the week. The 2 I didn't get were Rodri and Jesus. This is a City 11, Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Ake, Werner, KDB, Bernardo, Jesus, Sterling and Mahrez. Yeah, interesting team. Arsenal, yeah, I got 10 of theirs. I got 10 of theirs. Yeah, only Tomiyasu was a bit of a surprise. He came back into this, didn't he? Obviously from the team that thrashed Norwich last week. And if everyone was fit, I thought it might stay the same. But there you go. Ramsdale, White, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Lacazette and Martinelli. There you go. And Mr. Stuart Atwell was in charge. Yeah, a little bit of trouble with him. Not particularly for us. And VAR, we had Mr. Jared Gilley, another one that performed adequately for us. Perhaps not for as far as Arsenal's fans are concerned, but we'll talk about that more in a bit, won't we? Right, let's get through this match report quickly, guys. A lot went on, obviously. I'll try and be as brief as I can before we get to the player ratings. 4 minutes. Yeah, Jesus had a great header. Should have done a little bit better, actually. Short corner went to KDB. And his cross, yeah, he should have got a bit better on target. I think it was a good yard wide. A bit disappointing with Jesus. But it all kicked off, didn't it? I think Arsenal started to play far better after this incident as well on 10 minutes. When, of course, Odegaard takes it past, didn't really take it past Ake. He just does the flow of the ball, took him past Ake. And Ederson quite rightly comes out to make himself big, puts his foot on the ball. So did he get the ball, take him down? Well, close-up showed clearly that Odegaard also steps on Ederson. Well, he was trying to shield it away, no doubt about that. He wasn't trying to foul Ederson. And Ederson was trying to get his foot to the ball. He wasn't trying to foul Odegaard. So at the end of the day, the referee said no penalty during the 90 minutes. And, of course, there's no clear and obvious error. So I don't know what all the fuss is about. I don't think it was a penalty. Simple as. There you go. We move on. 14 minutes. A Diaz glancing header, yeah, similar to Jesus. This was even better. It reminded me of the Sterling glancing header last February, which we won the game for us. But yeah, Sterling sort of crossed it in and he glanced it and it just went wide of the post. But he should have perhaps done a little bit better with that. It would have been 1-0. But there you go. So Diaz there sort of didn't let us down. He got a nice little touch on it, but not quite good enough. But yeah, Arsenal, as I said, they livened up. The crowd were obviously busy booing. They perhaps spent more time shouting rather than just booing and being negative. They might be a lot better. Well, that's the fans that were there. I would reckon, about 25% at least empty seats in that place at least, and that might even be up to a third. Shocking support. I mean, I don't care what you say. We get a lot of stick, but teams like Arsenal don't. I don't know why. It's a 60,000 seat stadium, fair enough, but there was 45,000 there. I would be very, very surprised yesterday. Yeah, so Arsenal, anyway, let's get back onto the game. Yeah, Arsenal, very good. Getting in behind us all the time, running us ragged, to be honest with you, down those channels. And on 31 minutes, they got a thoroughly deserved lead, of course, as Saka sweeps it in. Again, City defence was at 6s and 7s. We couldn't really cope with it. And thoroughly, at that time, yeah, I'll say, okay, we had a couple of chances early doors, but I thought Arsenal thoroughly deserved it. 39 minutes, Martinelli came close from our angle where we were in the corner. It looked as though it was going in the net, and it just bounced wide of the post when he had again, up the left-hand side. Our defence was really haggard. And again, 43 minutes, I think it was Cancelo and Diaz got or Laporte might be involved as well. But again, Martin had another chance and it just ended up being shot wide. But our defenders were high-fiving each other, but they'd done nothing right. I mean, they made an absolute error. I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately, again, Martinelli needs to go to finishing school because he does have another one in the second half where he perhaps could have done a little bit better. But yeah, again, wide by Martinelli. He did everything right, just didn't find that final shot. So 1-0 half-time. Thoroughly deserved for Arsenal, I think. Pep said after the game we looked tired, and we certainly did a little bit after that first few minutes where I thought we had reasonable control up to that penalty incident. But we would have to find something really to pull this back. We knew he wasn't going to make any half-time changes. Even though these guys are tired, he'll stick them out there again for the second half. 53 minutes yet. Bernardo actually, before the penalty incident on 55, Bernardo went down in a similar thing with his shirt being held. But obviously, I wasn't sure if it was the same player. But that was 53 minutes. But 55 minutes, obviously, Xhaka stupidly. I mean, all right. Perhaps Bernardo's been to the Salah school of diving, or what, he did fall over very, very easy. But at the end of the day, his shirt was being tugged. It was clearly obvious on the monitor when he was asked to go and look at it. And again, totally correct decision. But no matter how much Arsenal fans whinge about how he went down, all right, I'm sure Bernardo is an obvious advocate of the Liverpool way of football. He loves Liverpool. We know he does. He always pays them due respect, as we know, tongue in cheek. But so what? How many of those have gone against us in the past? So I'll take that every day of the week. And of course, Arsenal, all hell broke loose. I think petulance, whinging, mithering. I think Gabriel was booked for trying to scuff up the penalty spot. There was some images on social media later of that clearly being done. So stupid, just like a kid would do in a schoolyard. Absolutely pathetic. They lost all calm, really, Arsenal at that stage. And of course, Mahrez, fantastic, so cool, great penalty. Had to wait 5 minutes? Not too sure before he could take the penalty. Superb penalty, great goal. Well done, Riyad, who hadn't had the greatest game, but then again, which City player had? 58 minutes, Laporte does his best Jamie Pollock or Pillock impression, whichever way you look at it. No offence, Jamie, and sort of heads it towards goal. And obviously up where we were, it looked as though it was going to go in, and obviously Hackett was fantastic. Got back, not quite as close call as John Stones is against Liverpool, or perhaps as important in a way, but he got back to clear it off the line. And Martinelli again popped in, but his left foot shot, I think, just hit the outside of the post stand, sort of side netting. So he should have done better with that. That was pretty poor. We got away with that one. That was 58 minutes. Laporte, what were you doing, mate? 59 minutes, and of course, Jesus does one of his only useful things. Actually, he found himself getting manhandled in the centre, near the centre spot by Gabriel. And of course, Gabriel's already been booked, and this is a bookable offence, holding a player back. And he's off, similar to that Wolves game the other week. Absolutely stupid. He was applauded off. I would not applaud off any player who does something stupid like that. You've put your team down to 10 men in a game that they were still well in, still playing well, still had an opportunity to take the lead. Absolutely stupid. 63 minutes, calmness appeared on the pitch in the form of Gundogan. Jesus went off. He'd done his little bit by getting a player sent off, and Gundogan came on. And the best I could say is he just calmed everything down, and that's what we needed. We were a bit Arsenal were irate, but we hadn't really calmed ourselves down either. So Arsenal with 10 men still had the odd half chance, but they'd have. Obviously it was all the big oof, wasn't it? All the second half was the big oof from Ramsdale. Even before they went down to 10 men, they totally changed tack, and our defence could cope better with that. We couldn't cope with the channels and the pace in that first half, but we can cope a little bit better with the big oof up front, and that's what Arsenal reverted to for that second half. So again, blame the ref, blame VAR, blame what you want, guys, but Arsenal as a team totally changed tactics that second half, and you have to take responsibility that you should have just really certainly started the second half in the same vein you finished the first, and you didn't. You changed tactics. So, but still with 10 men, say the punt up, there's always a chance it'll fall to an Arsenal player that he could get a goal, etc. But City never quite looked at it, but it was a 93rd minute, didn't it? I mean, I would have settled for a draw, to be honest with you, 20 minutes earlier. In all fairness, I would have been happy with that because we were pretty poor yesterday, so a draw would have been a good result. But a great KDB. He kept probing, didn't always work for KDB. Very tired, as we know. He collapsed at the end of the game, virtually like a lot of the players did on both sides. And a great KDB ball. I think Laporte was there. Again, look, the defenders are up there. It's tended to happen the last few games with City. No strikers, no attacking midfielders, just the defenders in the box. And Laporte tried, he got it blocked. I think Rodri got a couple of bites of the cherry. Obviously, I won't use the Trevor Cherry joke. That was used against Leeds. But he got a second chance and slides it wonderfully past Ramsdale. And, of course, all hell breaks loose. And yeah, I was surprised he didn't slide towards the City fans, but obviously he got a nice welcome, didn't he, from the Arsenal fans that side. So fantastic. I mean, more than we could have asked, to be honest with you, 2-1. And Bernardo completes an afternoon of full shithousery by kicking away an Arsenal free kick, I think, in the last few seconds of the game and getting himself booked. But that was the sort of game Bernardo had, and all credit to him. He is a bit of a wind-up merchant. We love him to bits, don't we? So job done in a third empty, or certainly a 25% empty Arsenal sectioned empty Ritz. Let's be honest about it. No offence, guys, but we get enough stick, don't we? So and it's not just this game. It's been like this for a long time. It's not just COVID. It was like this before COVID. Of course it was. So, but it's only City get the stick, don't it? But yeah, all credit. I thought the Arsenal fans reasonably got behind the team. Certainly when they felt hard done to. A lot too much booing rather than support. I think I only heard about 2 or 3 different Arsenal songs being sung, which is a bit, get a few out, guys. Sing a few more songs. It's so interesting. Anyway. But well done to the 70% of the 100% Arsenal fans that were there. Yeah, it was said against Brentford, wasn't it? And again, that's why we're champions. And I suppose you could say it again with this. That's why we're champions. We've not done many of those recently, last minute wins, but we did it this time. Right, let's get on with it. A longer match report there, guys. A lot to talk about. Key stats: Arsenal 7 shots, 2 on target. City 15 shots, 2 on target. That's not really good enough, guys. That's gone really low. It had improved a few games ago, but I suppose the tiredness is showing. I'm not too sure. Possession 72% for City. Pass completion, Arsenal only 71%. That's quite low for what I thought was quite a good performance against a lackluster City at times. City 88%, again high, but not our highest by anyway. And the ratings, let's shoot through these, guys. Stuart Brennan's in charge. I've only given City a 6 as my starting point today. A lot of players are getting less than 6, to be honest with you. Whether they're tired or whatever, you can only mark them on what they do on the pitch. So a couple of players escaped with an okay score because of certain circumstances, of course. But yeah, let's get through these. They're not the greatest ratings of a match this season. Right, Stuart, I'll start with Stuart's thing and then I'll give you my little thoughts. Edison, Stuart says, survived a close penalty call. He did, but it wasn't a penalty. Near misses in Laporte's header. He's nervous. He's played for some time, so he's only given a 5. Yeah, I think he did struggle behind a very jittery, unconfident defence for me. So I've given him 5.5. I've not quite given the 6 because, yes, I don't think he was quite at it, Edison, but I'm not going to blame him for the penalty. It certainly wasn't a penalty. He did his best to get the ball and the player got him as well, so it's 50-50 for me. Correct decision. Cancelo, Stuart said, brave call for him to play. It was. He was all over the place as Martinelli attacked him in the first half. He was. Stuart's given him a 5. Yeah, I've only given him a 5. I'd like to give him the standard 6 because of the circumstances, but I was very, very surprised he played. But he had reasons to be below par, so I'm not going to score him up just because of that. But defensively, yeah, he was absolutely pretty bobbins as he was against Brentford. He was awful against Brentford, don't forget, and that was before this incident. Attacking wise, again, he didn't have a lot to offer, I don't think, yesterday. I've not had a chance to watch the game back, but I'll try and do that over the next 24 hours just for my own satisfaction. But I'll give him a 5 anyway, Cancelo, but all credit for him to turning out. Diaz, as Stuart said, as culpable as the rest in the shoddy first half, it was, but more solid and together after the break. So Stuart's given him a 5. I'll give him a 5.5 again. I'm not going to give him a 5. Struggled against that pace and all the Arsenal running that channels in that sort of last 30 minutes or so of that first half. He coped better with the long ball in the second half, and he was okay. So I'll give him a 5.5. Stuart give him a 5. Laporte, thoughtless header, it certainly was. Nearly won Arsenal the game, it certainly did. Saved by Aki's clearance. He's only given him a 4. Yeah, I'll give him a 5. I'm not going to be as low as Stuart. Very useful again going forward, but again defensively, as has been the case in the last 2 or 3 games. Pretty poor, and that header was inexcusable. Thank you, but it's not quite as good as Jamie. At least Jamie Pollock scored, mate. So you'll have to improve a little bit. Nathan Ake, yeah, interesting. Tough time, says Stuart, against Saka, but his goal line clearance made up for all that. Yeah, he's given a 6. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 6, but he only got rescued by that off the line thing. I don't think he was as bad as some of the other defenders during the game. but that was a great save on the line. So I'm not going to go mad with him, but I'll give him a nice steady 6 for Aki just for that save off the line. Rodri overrun and too sloppy, says Stuart in the first half, but wrestled some control back and conjured a late winner. He certainly did. So Stuart's given a 6. I'm going to give him a 6.5. I've got to give him a 6.5 for that winner. I mean, if he hadn't done that, then yeah, he would have been low again. But not his sort of midfield battle, was it? He struggled a little bit. Obviously, tired legs around him, even though we seem to try and put an extra man in midfield. But cometh the hour, cometh the man. So I'll give him a 6.5 for that. KDB, awful, says Stuart. Weary first half, but he summoned some reserves of energy to get the Blues motoring. Yeah, I agree. He's given him a 6. I will just give him a 6 as well, because he did work hard. He did supply 2 or 3 good chances for City players in that first half, and he was good enough to keep going for the 90-odd minutes, and he was absolutely knackered like the rest of them. And that was a great ball into the danger zone when it mattered, and he didn't shoot. You know, sometimes he'd be shooting from there and he'd just be wasting our time. But yeah, I'll give him a 6 for that. Bernardo Silva, Stuart said poor in the first half. I think we all were, mate. But canny piece of skill and Nous earns City the penalty to level it. Yep, Mr. Mo Salah, eat your heart out. Yeah, Stuart's given him a 6. I'll give a 6.5. I thought his moaning paid dividends, wound up the Arsenal players on the pitch, wound up the fans. Absolutely fantastic. A fantastic performance as far as winding up the opposition is concerned. Obviously been watching Mr. Mo across the road. But if you get your shirt pulled, you're quite entitled, for me, you're quite entitled to fall over. So well done, Bernardo. I'll give him a 6.5. Riyad Mahrez kept his head despite Arsenal gamemanship. He did to find the penalty and sign off for a month, said Stuart. Yeah, so that's the last we'll see of him. Yeah, I'll take that. Stuart's give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.5 again because of that penalty score. I said he would have scored less than a 6 otherwise, but because again, he wasn't fantastic. But again, who was? Great pen, kept his head. Well done, him. Gabby Jesus battled hard and drew the challenge from Gabriel that brought the red card. Should have given him a 6. Yeah, I'll only give him a 5.5. I think that was all he did, really. Should have done better with the header early doors. Wasn't really involved that much. Struggled a bit. Did a bit of running about, but not great. Gabby Jesus yesterday. Raheem Sterling, Stuart said direct positive, but too many frustrating dead ends from him again. A bit like the Sterling we've seen up to the last few games, where he does a lot of things right, but doesn't know when to release the ball again. So he's falling back into the same old problems. And he was possibly our most direct, fastest player on the pitch, which is a bit of a worry because he wasn't great. Stuart's given him a 6. I've given him a 5.5. I think he was just an early man yesterday, and we need him to be more effective from those runs, etc. Gundogan for Jesus on 63. Restored order, says Stuart. Yeah, I've not marked him. Stuart's given him a 7. I think that was the highest score to give anyone, wasn't it? Yeah, I just thought the calmness of Gundogan, he wasn't anything special. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he was brilliant. I just thought he calmed everything down a little bit, and that's what we need. We need a bit of calm head just to see out the game, and at one stage see out a draw, but obviously we managed to pull it round. Man of the match, I'm not really going to give it. I would give it perhaps to Aki for that clearance, but I think that's a bit iffy to give a man of the match. There was three players, Rodri, Mahrez, who deserve something just for actually what they did and how they helped the team and what they did, and even Bernardo. But overall, I'm not going to give a man of the match. If you said, Bernard, you've got to give one, I would say Aki, but no, I think we'll leave it today, guys, based on that performance. Overall, man of the, well, you could say Stuart Atwell, I suppose, but he only did his job, didn't he, for most part? So there you go. Overall record now reads: we played 94 at their place. We've won 19 now. Dizzy. Drawn 22 and lost 53. And we scored 92 and let in 166. Yeah, it's brilliant. So my last visit and only visit to Highbury ended in a victory, and my first and hopefully not last visit to the Emirates ended in victory. So I'll take that, guys. I've got a 100% record. Arsenal going forward, yeah, I thought the first half, obviously inspired by that, the fact they thought they were unfairly done to with that penalty decision after 10 minutes. I thought they played very, very well. They played the channels very well. They got in behind City all the time. They certainly could have been 2 or 3 up at half-time. They took some of the chances. All right, City perhaps could have had 1 or 2 as well. But obviously, by half-time, the fact that they were 1-0 up, they just tried to hang on to it. Ramsdale was wasting time most of the game, and certainly that second half, how he got away with being booked or not being booked, I have no idea. They just became a bit of a hoof and run thing, which is what City had to do the first half, because we were panicking a little bit at times, but just welling it out of defence. But yeah, I mean, if you're 1-0 up, it's easy, isn't it? It's perhaps easy to get into that mindset. And I don't think they did themselves any favours. We also know They just lost it. They just lost it psychologically as well. They should have done better with some of the finish that first half. There should have been perhaps a couple of goals to the good. They weren't. Apparently, Arsenal are now world class, according to some guy, without any laughter on Arsenal TV or Arsenal Fan TV, whatever that rubbish thing's called. But they do have quality in there. And I quite like it. That Martinelli's excellent, but I say he needs to learn how to hit the net. That's the only thing with him. This is only their second defeat, don't forget, at the Emirates of the season. And obviously, Arsenal fans are well chuffed and blaming everyone else. I think they should partly take some of the blame themselves as well, because that second half display, they did to sort of lack a little bit, given, all right, they might say, oh, we got a player sent off, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it was all a lack of discipline and a lack of organisation in the Arsenal team in that second half. So, yes, City were lucky to get away with it. Of course, as I said, I would have taken a draw. But they themselves let themselves down, I think, a little bit in that second half, especially getting himself, Gabriel getting himself sent off. Absolutely pathetic. I certainly wouldn't have applauded him off the pitch. So, yeah, they could have done better. They had an opportunity. They were brave the first half, but they lacked a little bit of that bravery the second half, and they just went back to sort of trying to scrape it 1-0. It was never going to happen. City were always going to get one or two chances. So all fairness to City for taking them when they came. But Arsenal, top four, definitely. I mean, they have potential. If they can get over this defeat and stop moaning and whinging, the players and the fans, they'll be all right. Just don't feel sorry for yourselves. And I think they've got a definite chance at top four because they've got some good players and they play some good stuff. They have to learn how to do it away from the Emirates, of course, where their form's pretty naff. But yeah, I won't be certainly top six is not a problem. But hopefully they can push for top four and keep other certain teams out of it as well. So I wouldn't mind that, even though obviously we didn't win any friends over there down there yesterday, did we? But so what? It's football, isn't it? I never really thought we had many friends down there, to be honest with you. City, yeah, rest and more rest for us. We've got Swindon. And let's face it, for the first time, I think we will see more kids than normal in this one. I could see at least 4 or 5 kids in this team. Perhaps people like, obviously, Stefan getting a game in this, and obviously 4 or 5 kids dotted around the outfield players. Depending on how the players are, as I say, they look knackered, of course, but some of those players, after a couple of 2 or 3 days rest, which they'll no doubt get now, before they report back to training, just a little bit of a tick over, just to make sure they're okay. They're not going to get worked any great shakes. And as long as COVID stays away, and obviously with people like Foden who've now got it, and we'll need to get time to recover then, because I think we need to sort of, yes, we should be beating Swindon with a half full team, if you like. And then we've got the big one, haven't we? We've got Chelsea at home, which becomes very, very important just to knock in their confidence. So we've got to go full blazing for that. But there you go, 2-1, guys. That's why we're champions. Of course it is. I'll take that, whether luck or poor officiating or dodgy VAR. Let's face it, they've got a lot of catching up to do to get us back with all the rubbish we've had over the years. I think we're well behind, so I'll take that. I'll take that on the day. And I'll take the win, as I say. I would have been, even before kickoff, I thought, we've not been playing that great. I might take a draw if Arsenal turn up. So, hey, we'll take that all day long. Prepare really to make the opposition cry in the forms of the European Cup winners Chelsea in a few weeks' time, who obviously will no doubt remind us of that. So let's remind them on the pitch who still are the best team in England, and that's all we need to do. Anyway, please join me next week as we look forward to the Swindon game. As I said, there'll be that hybrid special. Please keep your eyes out for that. I've not done it yet, but that'll be out the next few days. And of course, there'll be a couple of programme watches. There might be the odd history thing, depending on how many days we've got and what it's like building up to the Swindon game. Of course, there's going to be a Swindon preview, a Swindon history boys, and a Swindon odds show all before the game next Friday night. Anyway, let me know in your comments what you thought, guys. Your ratings, what you thought. As I say, have I been unfair? I don't think I have. I think it was just a game that we 3 points and we move on. Although, obviously, it's nice to see a match of the day. I believe they agreed with most of the VAR decisions, etc., which is nice to see. I didn't watch it deliberately because I thought they wouldn't, but now I know they did. I recorded it, so I'll probably give it a watch at some stage over the next couple of days. Anyway, let me know your comments, guys, and if you were there yesterday, hope you enjoyed it, and Yeah, I did. Someone said I was on BT Sport before the game. I'm not too sure, and a couple of people said that, and the guy next to me in the stand said, "Oh, someone just said they saw me on BT Sport." So if he was on, I was next to him. I probably was. But anyone's got a recording of that guy, send it me. But probably not. But I'd like to see it. I'm sure I wasn't doing anything untoward, that's for sure. But you never know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other to meet here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing. It's dead simple, isn't it? Just ask you all to stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.